Have you ever considered astrology when looking for the perfect date? What about asking someone what's your sign? If you happen to prescribe to the theories of astrology when it comes to love and dating, this new reality television series may be of interest. The show is set in idyllic, sunny Greece. To reach the set, you must traverse into the mountainous desert. This is not the typical tourist trap. The hot, dry countryside is usually only home to local farmers. This is a place barely touched by man. If you were to stumble across the set of this show, a luxurious villa filled with tall, statuesque pairs of lovers, you may wonder if you've wandered into the camp of a cult. Alas, not a cult, a new hit television series. Stay tuned to hear what we learned behind the scenes of Written in the Stars.
Finding a soulmate is harder than ever these days, but is it possible we've been looking in all the wrong places?
Premiering at the end of this November, the show will be available to watch on Discovery+. As with a lot of straight-to-streaming shows, the buzz has been of anticipation for this new show, somehow with a premise that seems as old as time. If you believe that your sign, your birth chart, or other spiritual factors can affect how you interact with others, this show could be a really interesting way to explore that. Will you be tuning in? The set is really something out of a fairy tale. Along with the gorgeous villa and its beautiful inhabitants, the natural setting is jaw-dropping. If you've never visited the mountains of Greece, it can be hard to describe them. Just like most deserts, the dry landscape is home to cacti, hardy plants, and bumblebees. The combination creates a punch-drunk feeling. Anyone could get lost watching nature tick along. Bees visiting lavender plants, the cacti pulsing gently, absorbing any drop of water they can.
In a last-ditch attempt to find true love.
It really is the perfect place for lovers to focus on each other and themselves for the sake of a stronger and healthier union. Amongst those paired, there lies an enormous astrological wheel of gold and blue. It is an odd contrast. The man-made wheel has an enormous presence. It lives in a setting so natural and pure, causing it to appear vastly out of place. In its own way, we believe that these extremes actually create a very interesting and engaging setting. It's so embedded in nature, it can be easy to forget you're on a TV show. And likewise, for those contestants who are hyper-aware of being on a TV set, can enjoy the second-to-none view of Greece that they have from the villa they live in for the duration of the show. You may be wondering how Written in the Stars could possibly work. You're set up on a blind date, and you must determine your compatibility based on your astrological sign. You and your partner have been blind dating for some time, but you don't know each other's birthdays. Does the show lean in more heavily on the nitpicks of astrology, taking into account not just your birthday, but your birth time?
They've agreed to take part in a unique dating experiment using an ancient method that people are now turning to in their millions.
Well, not quite. In order to participate on the show, you must allow the producers to pair you with someone you've never met. You, your potential partner, and the rest of the pairs are all joining the show for one reason. You're all looking for a genuine connection with someone. Does that mean every person there is infatuated with astrology? Actually, no. Some of the contestants appear not to even believe in astrology's importance when it comes to dating. Lucky for these contestants, there are no eliminations. Otherwise, we believe those would be the first to go. This is a common trick that reality TV shows employ. Start with a varied enough set of participants, but make sure to have at least one or two of them be completely out of left field. In this case, a non-believer. This would be an easy way for producers to make their point, that astrology is the driving factor behind compatibility, by making an example of those who do not believe. Showrunners Rosie Bray, David Mortimer, Dragonstan and Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends, and Lucy Golding speak about the show like it was a no-brainer. The premise is quite clever. If you've ever tried a dating website, you'll be aware that lots of people ask for other signs as an icebreaker, and at least some of those people appear to care about the answer. Why not create a reality TV show with this premise?
The astrologers are staking their reputations on this groundbreaking experiment.
The producers knew that it would be popular. In fact, it is thought that most people seeking spiritual guidance from astrologists or by having a tarot card reading are looking for advice with their most intimate relationships.
Astrology. Leading the experiment, 3 world-renowned astrologers.
This is especially true of women and members of the queer community. For that reason, we were flabbergasted that this first season was made up of all heterosexual couples. Perhaps no one from the queer community had applied to be on the show. We think if the show continues to be made, it's only a matter of time before this happens. Some astrologists even blame pop culture for demonizing this type of belief, but that has only helped astrology reach the eye of mainstream culture. Just like any program that involves astrology, we were were glad to see some legit astrologists working behind the scenes. Well, legit if you happen to believe in such things. These are the people who will make matches between contestants, depending on their birth date, time, and other astrological factors. This information can even tell a practiced astrologist the positions of each planet during one's birth, therefore giving such context as how feminine or masculine a particular person will be. The positions of many planets can also be used to predict someone's temperament later in life. All of these factors are weighed before participants are matched. Does all of this seem like too niche of a subject? Well, maybe in the past at some point. However, the popularity of astrology has only risen since about 2017. Now in 2022, that is 5 years of steady growth in pop culture significance. We've even heard of people in their 50s and 60s looking into matters of astrology, especially if they're looking for a romantic partner. What do you think about this? Do you think we are moving in a good direction when it comes to astrological beliefs? One of the astrologists, Michelle Knight-Waite, explains why some people are more hesitant to accept astrology.
I've been an astrologer for decades, and the popularity of modern astrology gladdens my heart.
Astrologer to the stars, Michelle Knight.
I think that no one had the courage to do it, and why would they? My experience in commissioning is that a lot of people are too cautious to take risks, even if something is really popular. The patriarchy is not wanting to commission shows that are, while this particular person may sound a bit paranoid, the sentiment is shared amongst a lot of astrologists, all of whom will likely be thrilled to tune into this new show. If you've seen Married at First Sight, you may be familiar with the idea of a dating show employing the use of experts in the love and romance field. Behind the scenes at this production, though, the experts are more likely to be tarot card readers. In fact, the aforementioned Michelle Knight-Waite has spoken on this subject too. She is the type of person to lean into her role as a matchmaker and feels pride when the people she matches up find love. "I'm like a proud mother," she quipped in an interview. "I have all the feels." However, being on the show may not be all it's cracked up to be. Contestants have almost no privacy while on the show, not dissimilar to just about any dating show. Producers watch and listen to every move in the name of television drama. For audiences, we think this show will be a smash hit and maybe even help some people find genuine love. A bit of boredom would certainly be easier to digest if you wound up with a real connection with someone, especially someone you have been paired with. The idea of proving the astrologists right is a feverish sort of dream for most of the participants. We agree that it would be really nice to be set up with someone supposedly perfect and make that connection work. Amusingly,
what if the answer to true love is written in the stars?
this villa is not the only one housing contestants in a love-based reality show. The villa just across the way, just as large and luxurious as the one for Written in the Stars, is holding a house full of contestants and crew for another show, Love Island a la Poland. Some of the crew working on this set are career crewmen on television sets. This in and of itself isn't surprising, but it does tend to lend more light on the fact that these shows are more or less produced and acted in the same ways. Interesting piece of trivia, or perhaps this is telling of a larger trend. Do you think our culture has become too infatuated with reality TV? Have we blurred the lines irrevocably? Some people may agree. The ones who don't agree will probably be fans of such shows and probably will be watching both shows set and filmed in beautiful Greece. Does this show sound interesting to you? Would you be on this show? Please let us know below if you will be tuning in.